Hi guys, Bor here from the depths of hell, bringing you another Throne and Liberty guide. In this one I will be talking about how to save some Lucent by planning your purple gear upgrades. Don't worry, you will not have to sacrifice your soul to the lava gods, but it may actually take some preparation. In this example I will be following the necklace upgrading path, but you can apply this strategy to any other gear piece as long as you follow similar upgrading pattern. Everything is gonna be actually quite clear once I start explaining this to you. So without further ado, let's jump to it. So the first step in our example is where you can actually get the Clasp of the Conqueror. And the answer to that question is we go to our senior Sandaris crafter Melissa in Stoneguard. And as you can see, she has some nice chests to sell. You can actually buy this for Abyss currency, and you get those by completing the contract scroll in open dungeons. Now you can see there is the Clasp of the Conqueror. This is selection chest, so once you get 40, you buy this chest and you get your clasp. Now my advice would be to actually go to this vendor and check all those chests to look for items that may be your potential upgrades in the future. Alright, so we open the chest, we get the clasp, and sometimes the clasp you're gonna get is not gonna be what you want. So as you can see, I have here the bind chance one. What you can do in this case, you can lithograph it and sell the lithograph on the auction house, or just craft it again and maybe hopefully you're gonna get the trait you want. There is no skipping of this process of unlocking the traits you want on the piece of gear. So just a reminder here, to unlock the trait on the gear, it has to be the same gear or the trait extract from this gear. So in this case, you're gonna need the clasp with all those traits. So I actually had to open a lot of those clasps, get my skill damage boost, get my buff duration, and get my max HP. So now that I have the clasp that is ready for future upgrade, what is the strat? To actually explain this, I have to explain you how the blessing system works in the game. So if you played a bit, you probably know about the transfer option in equipment tab. That lets you transfer the level, but also it transfers the blessing that was on the item. So let's say I have necklace here and this is my new necklace I will be using. And I previously had level 6 green necklace that was fully traded. If we go for the transfer, you can see we're gonna get 72 blessing. The reason why you see 72 here is because every trait above the first one that was on the item, it gives you 24 blessing points on the item. So when we upgrade this, 72 goes onto the item. Now, this works also the same for the blue items, and you can transfer blue item into blue item. So as you can see, I have the Ornate Choker here that is dummy leveled to level 1, and it has 4 extra traits. If I hover this over here, you can see I'm getting 288 blessing, but the item already had 192. So 24 times 4, that's 96. 192 plus 96, 288. So this is exactly why we're getting this blessing. Now, things are much better when you transfer blue traits on the purple item. So, as you can see, the same choker that was giving me only 96 before is giving me 672. So, to check the math here, you can see there was 192 blessing here. When we transfer this blue choker onto the purple item, we're getting 672 blessing. The reason why is we get 5 times bonus for our 24 for each trait. So each extra trait, except the first one, is worth 120. So that's 480 plus 192, and we go to the 672 blessing. Now, just for this reason, every time you're gonna upgrade to purple item, no matter if you go with the strat I'm gonna actually show you here or not, it is very beneficial for you to transfer fully traded blue item onto the purple item. If you're actually gonna go for it, you're gonna get 960 blessing points. Now, the reason why this is very important is, as you can see on this example here, I can upgrade my skill damage boost using blue trait. If I would use purple to purple, that upgrade will be 100% chance. When I use blue item, it's only 10% chance. But if I have 450 blessing on my purple item, I can select this use blessing, and this 10% chance is actually boosted to 100% chance. So why is that important? Well, let's quickly check the current prices if I want to upgrade my Clasp of the Conqueror. So you can see the cheapest skill damage boost costs 403 when we buy purple. But if we go for the blue one, it will cost us only 44. So just by doing this, you're actually saving 700 Lucent. And the beauty of this strat is, of course, if you had good gear that you were using and fully traded on the blue, you can use that one. But you can also go with like dummy item with terrible traits, then upgrade it to level 9 of course. And if you transfer this onto your new item, you have 2 free blessing upgrades there. So I kinda give you idea what this strat will be all about. In our case, it will be daisy chaining Ornate Choker. You can see I started this strategy here. I have 192 blessing on my blue item and I started upgrading it further. Now, once this item is fully finished, I will transfer this item onto another choker, fully trade it, and then transfer it on another choker. Every time I do this, I will gain 192 blessing. And then when I'm ready to transfer to purple, I'm gonna level up this to level 9 and then transfer it to my designated Clasp of the Conqueror. Now, just before I continue with this example, there is another one nice thing to know about. You can actually do this strat also on purple items. And if you're lucky enough and you find enough of them and start upgrading with the cheapest traits, the amount of points you're gonna get per each trait is worth now 120. Of course, purple items don't drop like candies, so this strategy may not be entirely viable, but you can not go for fully traded purple item. You may actually go with some shortcuts here, like only few trades on the item, and it will work just fine. So what you do in this case with the daisy chain strategy, as I show you here, go with the choker, fully trade, and then transfer. Fully trade transfer, then you fully level up item to 9, and then you transfer this item on your dummy purple. Then you upgrade the traits on the dummy purple, but at one point, when you're ready, you transfer it into your final clasp, and then you start upgrading your traits with the blessing. So now the question you probably have, how much blessing do I actually need to fully trade the purple item? Well, the real answer is there is never enough blessing, because later we're gonna get more items, tier 2 items, tier 3 items maybe, and the blessing is gonna be always relevant. But to fully upgrade the purple item, you need 4050 blessing points. Now, minus 960 when you get for transferring fully traded blue item, that leaves us with 3090 blessing. So that's a lot of blessing you have to do. Now, I will not focus on purple items here because that may not be a reliable strategy. But if you would go for the blue Ornate Chokers strat here for our necklace upgrade, we're gonna need 17 of those chokers. Or if you wanna go fully free to play, you're gonna actually require 146 blue choker drop. Now that is a lot of commitment here, so let's focus on strategy that is less demanding and will still net you crazy amounts of saving. So let's check the current prices of the items we have in mind here. So first, the clasp. And you can see the current trade prices are around 400 Lucent for each. Let's actually run this up so the math will be easier. If we assume the price of 400, that means that if we would be buying purple trades to upgrade our item, that is of course if all the trades are unlocked on the item, that would cost us 3600 Lucent. Now, what we can do here, of course, if you have our 17 chokers, as you can see, some of the trades here, 3 bottom ones, the price for them is not really that expensive. It's 10-10 and around 18 usually on the health region. So, if we have one choker with one of those trades, let's assume the worst case scenario that will be the most expensive. So let's assume you get weakened chance or silence chance. Now, what you have to do is have to buy from the market all the missing trades and fully trade your item. So if we do the calculation there, we have 8 trades, 3 will be for 18, the rest will be for 10. So the total cost will vary here. If you're lucky with health region for 10, that will be 80 per item. If not, then it's gonna be 100, 110, all depends. Let's assume it's gonna be 105 Lucent for the full upgrade in this case, for one item. So you're gonna need 16 of them, and then you're gonna need one more item with one trade upgrade to get enough blessing to fully upgrade your purple item. So if we do the calculation here, the total cost in this case. So that should be 1,690 Lucent. So as you can see, this is still 2k gap we have here. This is actually how much you can save with this strat. To fully make this calculation actually, of course, we need the blue traits for each of the item. The usual average price of those varies when it comes to max HP, buff duration and skill damage boost. But usually it's the price you can see on the choker. So it should cost you in total 380 to 400 Lucent for those blue traits. So now we are in the territory of around 1.6k Lucent saving. But while doing the choker strat, you can see 3 of the traits you get here are actually selling still for very decent value. So if we assume that you farm enough to get your 16 Ornate Choker, and we're gonna go with flat, completely not probably possible resolution of this, you get another 16 of the chokers that you actually were able to sell. So for those current prices here, let's average this to like 44 per item. That means when you sell the item, you actually get 34 Lucent for it. That means in total you should earn around 544 Lucent for this. As I said, this all depends on the current market price. At the beginning, when I was actually thinking about making video about this strategy, I could easily save 2.2k Lucent on this strategy. Right now, it's closer to 1.6, 1.7, but it's still pretty decent value. And on top of that, if you're done with the choker strategy, you can still actually farm those chokers and make some money on the side here. So now, since this is the video about upgrading your necklace slot, where you can get those chokers I'm talking about and how hard it's actually gonna be. So, the answer to your question is you have to go to Sanctum of Desire. If you click here on the monster info, if we click on the Avalos Aeromancer, you can see one of his possible drops is Ornate Choker. Now, what is the chance to get one? This, of course, varies a lot. Usually, on average, I would say you can expect 1 in 10 kills. Now, of course, this is RNG. I get choker just after 1 kill. I think my unluckiest so far was 23 kills without the choker. But compared to any other, at least accessory slot drop from open dungeons, this one actually doesn't feel bad. So what I do there, I have built with a lot of healing. I'm playing staff and bow, so I can do this strategy solo. If you want, you can actually team up, of course, with some guildmates or friends. You have to go inside the Sanctum. It has to be raining, of course, if you didn't know this. And then you make your way here around to the Storm Altar. You enter the altar, kill mobs on the side and go to the middle and stay on the altar. There will be 5 Aeromancers spawning here close. You can kill them from the stairs here and you don't attack any other mob type. Now, another tip for you is make sure to craft yourself food that gives you Abyssal token efficiency, because with this strategy you will be able to just kill more of those monsters in the dungeon. Right now we have Halloween event going on, and as you can see, we get the Abyssal Contract Token Efficiency food here that gives 15%. Now, as you may imagine, this strategy can be easily extended to other item slots. Mostly, probably what you're looking for is accessory slot. So, let me give you some advices here. On Sarudoma Island, the Reptilian Fighter drops a Bracer slot, and if you're staff, also staff. So you can do that strategy for staff too. So the Ruby Bungle, the prices on the trades are actually not as great, mostly because this is open dungeon, you can farm anytime you want. But the Ruby Bungle is not terrible drop rate, so you should be able to actually get quite a lot of them. Now, from other items or possible traps there, in the Shadowed Crypt, from Dark Shamans, you can actually get Guardian Torque, which is also a necklace. For some reason, maybe just that dungeon was not meant for me, drop chance for this necklace is not really that amazing. But here is very nice thing. If you ever get those necklaces and the trait you get on it is actually the same trait you're using for your chokers, you can use any other necklace. So you can also use this one for faster trait upgrade. Now when it comes to the Sileus Abyss, the monster you're looking for will be Steelclaw Abomination. And this one is huge disappointment. Or just RNG doesn't love me at all. You can also get necklace here, but also the ring slot. Now, the drop chance on the Steelclaw Abomination for those 2 items is terrible. It's actually abysmal, I would say. I was trying to farm this for a very long time. I think I killed around 200 Steelcraft Abomination and not a single item dropped. No necklace, no ring. If the ring drop will not be in your favor, like in my case, have in mind that when you do the contracts for the dungeons, you will have those pouches there. And the drop chance for ring in those pouches is 7%. So that is pretty decent one. So when you open a lot of them, you're gonna get your Imperial rings. Now, if you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing to my channel for more tips videos in the future. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.